The developer of Star Wars Jedi, Survivor explains why it won't be released on PS4 and Xbox One. GOG Store Update Starfield release date. We will see it in June 2023. Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom is the largest title on Switch. Alan Wake 2 developers plan to release a new game every year.
The Order is gone. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
Star Wars Jedi, Survivor will only be released on current generation devices, with the exception of last generation devices. This hasn't been clarified previously by developer Respawn Entertainment until this point, where we finally get the rationale for them. Star Wars Jedi, Survivor director Stig Asmussen revealed during a conversation with Play magazine why there is no PS4 and Xbox One version. Asmussen explained that it comes down to the fact that developer Respawn Entertainment is looking to take advantage of the current hardware capability to its full potential. This led to what the director called a true new gem experience in the Star Wars universe. The game really looks like a new generation game, and this is what appeared to everyone during the last video to review it, as the big difference appeared in most aspects from the previous version intended for the last generation. The director went on to talk about this. Bottom line, we quickly learned that we can take advantage of faster processors, more memory, better load times, etc., to create much larger maps, with more detail, greater density, wider enemy NPC variety, and overall fidelity. This new generation has allowed us to do exactly that, and I think it translates into a real experience for the new generation in the Star Wars universe. The team announced a few days ago that the game's launch date has been postponed for about a month. Its new launch date is next April 28th, instead of March 16th, which was the previous date. It is also mentioned that the game will have features that were not present in the previous part. For example, the player will be able to ride on creatures and use them to move around. There will also be fast travel and more. Earlier this month, Tyler McVicker spotted a small detail on the GOG Galaxy storefront, where Starfield is listed with the date June 29th, 2023. The leaked date falls on International Space Day, which is a fitting launch date for Bethesda's years-anticipated project. It's been a while since we've seen or heard any major news from Bethesda about the game, and there's been no hint of a potential launch date for Starfield since it was originally delayed last year from November 11th, 2022, to the first half of 2022-2023. It should be noted that Starfield is actually no longer on the GOG Galaxy storefront at the time of writing. Bethesda appears to have deleted the game from the CD Projekt-owned storefront entirely, and there is no trace of the game left. It is worth noting that the expert and knowledgeable about the industry, Jez Corden, it seems that the game, according to his words, will also arrive in June this year. Speaking on the Xbox 2 podcast, Corden said that a lot of people might associate the Starfield launch date with World Space Day, so he added his belief that Starfield will launch in June. Bethesda said the Starfield release date will be announced very soon, as the company confirmed the same via its official Instagram page in Latin America in response to a comment from a fan. Starfield, coming exclusively this year to Xbox and PC, will be available from day one on Xbox Game Pass. It does not seem that The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom will be subject to a new delay again, as it is supposed to be launched next May. So Nintendo has begun to reveal new details about its biggest and highly anticipated game this year. After it was recently shown off with a new trailer for it and the releases of the game were revealed, the publisher also revealed the file size of the game. As mentioned on the game's eShop page, it will require 18.2 gigabytes of storage space. Of course, that's not much compared to what you'll see on other platforms, but by the standards of a platform like the Switch, 18.2 gigabytes is quite a lot. In fact, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom has the largest file size for a Switch game to date, surpassing the 14.4 gigabytes file size of its predecessor, Breath of the Wild. The Zelda series of games is ancient and well known in Japan and the world, as it consists of more than 10 main and secondary parts, and it is an adventure and action type with some RPG elements, relying heavily on imagination, whether in designing environments or even characters, as well as the story. The next Zelda title will launch for the Nintendo Switch on May 12th and will be Nintendo's first game to cost $70. Though the company said that price won't be the standard for all future first-party games and isn't a trend.
We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer.
The development team, Remedy Entertainment, is currently preparing to launch its next game, Alan Wake 2, which will continue the events of the first part. But it seems that the intention of the team after the launch of the game is to release a new title every year. Remedy Entertainment Studio was able to provide us with many good titles that received positive returns, whether on the critical or commercial level. But that came at the expense of a long-running pace of development, and it looks like the studio wants to change that pace in the future, starting with Alan Wake 2. During the studio's latest financial report, Team CEO Tyro Vertala stated that starting this year, Remedy plans to release one new game per year, plus additional content, whether free or paid, for previously released titles. The studio has a number of projects confirmed to be in development at the moment. Among them is Alan Wake 2, which is supposed to be available in the market this year. In addition to a free team shooting game codenamed Vanguard, there is also a team game derived from Control, while working on a remake of the first and second parts of Max Payne. It is noteworthy that the team confirmed in a previous news that the second part of the Alan Wake game has become playable from the beginning to the end. This also indicates that it may begin to enter the final stages of development soon, before announcing its readiness for launch.